everybody. I'm James, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. All right, this one is called Getting Old. Yeah, getting old. All right, getting old. Getting older is not a death sentence, okay? It's not a death sentence. But what is a death sentence is whenever you give up, okay? Whenever you give up on trying to exercise, trying to eat right, and everything like that. Whenever you give up trying, that is a death sentence. Then you're old, truly. No matter how old you are. Maybe you're 50 something years old and you gave up trying, you know. You just gave up. You gave up sitting on the couch, not lifting a finger and stuff like that. That's when you're getting old. Age don't mean nothing. It's just numbers. It's just numbers. Now, sure, when numbers get up there, like up to 100 or 90 something, then maybe then you can say something to me about being old. But when you're in your 50s, your 60s, your 40s, you're not old. I see people come up to me saying, "Man, I'm too old for that, man. I'm too old to do that, man." I said, "Man, what is wrong with you? What are you talking about? You're not old, you know. Your age is old, but you're not old, because, hey, look, you can't stop when your hair starts falling, your hair starts balding out. When your hair starts balding out, when gray starts coming in, when your hair starts balding out, just cut your hair. Just cut it down. Don't let the sides grow like big like this. And no hair in the middle. You look like Bozo. Yeah, why do that? Why try to hold on to something that is never going to recover itself? No matter if you put Rogaine on your head, put it on there, you may start growing some hair, but as soon as you stop taking the Rogaine, then it falls back out again. So you're fighting a losing battle. You know, you can't stop graying your hair graying. If you dye your hair, you can dye your hair, but and your beard and stuff. But as soon as you slip up and you get sick or something like that, it's gonna show. It's gonna show. So what's the sense of covering it up? If you got to cover it up, just cut it all off. Cut it off. Your mustache too. Cut it off. Forget it. A lot of people walk around be tired, be real tired, because they look. A lot of people out here that's up in age, they eat the wrong foods. They eat a lot of the wrong foods and stuff like that, and they don't take measures to exercise. You can get out and take a brisk walk every day. Take a big brisk walk every day. Maybe 2 miles, a 2-mile walk. Or jog. Jog it. But if you tired and nothing's wrong with you, if you got a full medical checkup and nobody said nothing's wrong with you, you shouldn't be that tired. You should leave the cigarettes alone, leave the drinking alone, and stop with all this sugar and a lot of this salt and stuff like that. Just throw it away. Because I eliminated sugar out of my diet. I don't even have sugar in the house. you know. So I'm telling you, man, you're only old when you give up. When you give up, and I can tell when you gave up, you know, when you sitting around. Give me that over there. Give me that glass of water. Thank you, thank you. Give me a glass of water. Give me water. All right. Now reach around there and give me that cane. Give me that cane. Give me that cane, boy. No, man, you can't do that. You can't do that. But it's a lot of people that's doing it. There's people in their 50s that act like that. And that's a shame, you know. And your balance too. Your balance. Your balance will get off. You standing up. Yeah, you standing up, you and you fall, you know. Or you standing up and you keep wobbling trying to keep your balance. Look, there's exercises you can do for balance too. You can try standing on one leg, or you know, it's there's a lot of exercises you can do for balance. You know, strengthen your leg muscles. Strengthen your leg muscles. You know, do some squats. You know, that's all. You know, but if you do it long enough, if you don't do it, if you do it for one day, that's not going to do nothing. You know, you got to keep doing it. You got to do it, like, do your reps when you get up in the morning or in the evening. Start doing your squats, doing your squats, and do it at the same time so you won't forget it. You know, you won't forget. That's another thing. Your mind. You got to keep your mind sharp. You can't not do a lot of stuff because you think you're old. You know, look, you got to stay up with modern technology. Modern technology, computers. Get on those computers. Keep your mind sharp. Keep your mind ready to go. You know, I know a lot of y'all said, "Oh, I don't need to do that stuff, boy. I don't. I did that stuff a long time ago. A long time ago." No, man, don't do that. And you know, a lot of stuff is by a lot of this stuff, like your balance, your mind, and everything. That starts wavering away when you start taking a lot of medications. You know. Now, truth be told, a lot of you got to take your medicine medications. You know, but start reading your medications. Start reading it. Start reading your medication. Start reading your medications, because and find out the side effects. That's why they got Google out. Google your meditation. Google your medication, and find out the side effects from it. They may have another medication that you can take, an alternative medicine, you know, you can take. So don't just settle for one medication that your doctor give you. If it's giving you some unwanted side effects, I don't know, man. You know, because I know I work a job, you know, I work a strenuous job from 2 to 10, you know, 2 to 10 p.m. I do a strenuous job, you know, and some of those young folks can't do the job that I do. That I walk and do stuff like that. So you got to have your mind together and your body. You get your mind and body together, and you can live a long time. You know, you can live a long time. Because I have a 2-year-old son, And I'm 59 years old. 59. Okay? I have a 2-year-old son. And it's nothing. And I want to be in shape to be able to play with him, to get on the floor and everything. Get on the floor and play with him and whatever, you know. So, man, you know, like for balance, you can, you know, a lot of you put your pants on one leg at a time, right? One leg at a time. But you don't have to sit down to put your pants on. You can stand up and put them on. Put them on one leg at a time. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing for the longest. Not sitting on the side of the bed putting my pants on. I stand up and put them on. You know. That way you'll keep your balance, you know. If you do that every day, you'll have your balance back. And you got to lose some of the weight. You got to lose some of the weight. Especially the visceral fat, you know, your big belly, you know, you got to lose that, you know. You have to lose it. And it may be hard for you because you like eating this food, the junk food and what's this these meats and stuff like that. These ready to eat, these meats that you put in the microwave and stuff. You can't do that. You can't eat that on a constant basis like that. You can't eat that like every day, you know. You know, you can't sit down and just shove stuff in your mouth. You can't do that. You know. But like I said, you're not getting old. You're not old. Okay? You're not old yet until you give up. When you give up trying. Okay? When you give up trying. Your medications, Google your medications. Make sure you Google it. Take one of your medications. Just take one of them and Google it. And find out what the side effects are. It could be tiredness, shaking, or off balance. It could be one of those things like that. So you need to do that and then find out. Then after you Google that, punch in that maybe what's another alternative medicine that I can take, you know, that don't have these side effects. You know, I'm telling you, man, it's kind of easy, you know. It's kind of easy. And keep yourself in shape. Keep your posture. Keep your posture together. Sit up. Don't, because that will cause curvature of the spine. Your spine will, if you stay in the same position all the time, your spine will start curving. And then you'll be humped over and stuff like that. You don't want that. Yeah. But like I said, man, hey, getting older is not a death sentence, okay? And you only get old whenever you give up. Okay? Whenever you give up. Alright, you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share. Share my videos with your family. Share my videos with your friends. Share it with your loved ones. And even share it with your enemies. All right. Peace. Adios. Salamat.